Let's get more on this now from political analyst Mark Meirowitz. Good to see you, Mark. So it is looking like it's Trump versus Fauci. What do you make of that exchange and the president's remark saying it's not an acceptable answer?
So what's happening is a new epidemic of Fauci fatigue. That's what they're calling it. The Republicans are getting tired of Fauci's warnings because it interferes with their policy of opening up the economy. Rand Paul's interplay at the hearing with Fauci is very symptomatic of this, to use all this nomenclature, where Rand Paul says, well, you're not the end-all and everything, and Dr. Fauci says, well, and I'm not the end-all, I'm a scientist. You see a clash here. Republicans throughout the country are getting tired of Fauci's warnings, particularly at this hearing where he really upended and challenged everything about that the president was sending. But the other big bomb in this was the Wisconsin Supreme Court decision today, which basically invalidated the stay-at-home order. So what's really happening on many fronts is challenging Fauci on the task force, but in the states, challenging the stay-at-home orders so that restaurants and bars and other industries can open up. So you have a concerted effort here to basically counter what Dr. Fauci is advising, which is be cautious, don't open schools, stay at home, and wait and make sure that the situation is safe enough to open up. So you really have a kind of a conflict here on these two approaches, and they're kind of, this is really a life and death thing. So, and as the governor of Wisconsin said when they overturned his order, he said, this is not funny. You have the Wild West. So I think I'm going to take Governor Evers and saying, we've got the Wild West in the federal government, and we've got the Wild West now, because what Republicans are going to do from state to state is to start challenging these orders to stay at home, and we're going to find a tremendous problem in terms of containing the virus.
And this is, Mark, it's remarkable because we're seeing a second wave. We've seen in Lebanon, in South Korea. Incredible. But going back to what Yasmin said, yes, there is public opinion support for Dr. Fauci were he to be dismissed or sidelined, is there not?
Well, this is kind of, I think Trump is kind of at the cliff here. If you dismiss Fauci, that would be very problematic. Even Lindsey Graham, who is the president's great supporter, says he listens to Dr. Fauci. So it's not just Democrats and Biden who are supporting Fauci. Many Republicans are supporting Fauci. However, it gets to a point where Trump's attempt to open up the society, and maybe to cater to his base as well, because his base those are the people out there protesting all of these rules. He's got a situation where he wants to open the economy. He doesn't want the economy to tank and to be completely destroyed. So he's got a problem because he wants to be reelected. Fauci is basically saying, don't do anything, and Trump is trying to open up and save the economy. An impossible situation, and I think that if you're dealing with life and death, you've got to be able to deal with saving lives. But here, Trump is trying to figure out a political solution on something that really is going to be mandated by medicine. And to go back to your point about the WHO at the top of your report, I don't believe anything the WHO says. They originally said there was no human-to-human transmission. So I don't believe anything they say. They have no credibility.
Okay.
So I think Dr. Fauci does have credibility, and we should be listening to him.
And very quickly, Mark, I like my crystal ball answers from you. Yes or no? Do you think Dr. Fauci will stay?
I think he'll be sidelined. I also think the state Supreme Court in Wisconsin is going to stay that order. They're not going to implement it right away because it would cause destruction and death and destruction in Wisconsin. So I think that Dr. Fauci is going to be sidelined somehow because Trump can't continue in this vein. Thank you very much.
We have to leave it there, Mark. Thank you so much, Mark Meirowitz, speaking to us from New Jersey. Really appreciate it.